Так, Стримчанский пошел, походу, да? Так, Стримчанский пошел, походу, да? Да. Стримчанский пошел, походу, да? Да. Стримчанский пошел, походу, да? Все. Блин. Ну, чуть поменьше сделать громкость этого и чуть побольше своего. Так. Так, ребятки. Подсказки. Все есть, нормально все. Так. Угу. Это не хуета. Это стрим называется, прикинь. Ну вот. Есть что. Так, вот так тогда выведем. Сука. Сука. Да нет, не то окно надо. Блин. Да, ты мой единственный фанат. Спасибо тебе за это. Я прям рад, что ты у меня есть. Я очень рад, что у меня есть. Уля. Ля какая. Так, тогда вот так сделаем. Окей. И в самом низу тогда. Новый источник. Управление трансляциями, мультиплеер. Во. Вот это вот окно мне надо. Ля какое. Бля. Уск. Его в самый низ. Сорян, что только настраиваю. Так, ссылочки на донат нету. Херово. А то вдруг кто-то решит задонатить, и потом, хуй знает как задонатить, и пиздец. Будет не очень хорошечно. Хоть музыку включить. Да за нее банят, бля. Я хер знаю такую музыку включить. Без авторских прав сейчас веду. Как с Украины задонатить? Ну, обычно. Сейчас я ссылку скину в описании стрима, и можно будет задонатить без Б. Донать. Опа-на. Паша тейкинг, потому что это тейкинг. Так, делаем. Да, какой? Для какой? Сука. Далее, да, какой Паша тейкинг пиздатый. Опа-на.
Сообщение.
Вот же. Сейчас пока смотрите на Пашу техника, сейчас я пока кое-что сделаю и приступим к просмотру. Все это говно теперь можно убрать. Так, сейчас мне какой-то видосик там. Вот этот вот видос сейчас будем смотреть. Нормально ЧК, как пойму. Так, а чё чат? Чё в чатик ничего не пишем? Напишите в чатик, я проверю кое-что. Мне просто интересно, появится или нет. Да, появится. Пишите активнее в чате, чё вы какие вы скучные. Так, все, смотрим видосик. Це український.
Every day to help them with their channels to talk through different ways to grow their audience. The goal of Channel Checkup is to show you how you can analyze your own channel by taking you step by step through a typical meeting with a partner manager. Today, I'm here with YouTube creator Laura Kampf. We're going to be diving into Laura's channel to find out what's going well, what can be improved, and answer some of her questions. First, can you tell us a little bit more about your channel and how it's going?
Sure. So my name is Laura Kampf. I'm a creator from Cologne, Germany, and I make videos about building things. I build very different things. Sometimes it's
Ну, тупо DIY-щица с 300к подписатой.
bicycles, sometimes it's furniture. And I try to upload every week.
Actually, that's one of the very first things that
Ну, так-то DIY прикольный, да.
I noticed on your channel and that you do really well. I think what's so important about a consistent upload schedule is that people can come to
Кстати, да, над шапкой тоже надо поработать, вот этим надо заняться, вот прям вот. Диман, если ты смотришь, надо вот это вот прям четенько все сделать, чтобы прям вот без малейшей зазоринки все было, прям белиссимо. Вот, так что я надеюсь на тебя.
anticipate when you're going to post and therefore watch the video when you upload
I
it.
agree. I think it's just as much a ritual for me as it should be for the viewer, or I want it to be for the viewer.
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head here. You tap into people's lives, right? You become part of their routines, kind of like anticipating a new episode from your favorite TV show.
Exactly, yeah.
Можно сравнить с этим сериалом, ну блин. Ну, как бы да, я тоже стараюсь, чтобы это выглядело как сериал. Сначала мы хейтили Диму Масленникова, потом, короче, сделали, ну, такую же посылку, как у него, и сейчас будем продолжать развивать эту тему. Типа, бля, мы будем стараться как-то продвигать. Ёпт.
One of the most important parts to having your YouTube channel is making sure your channel page is well branded. And that's simply because this is the page where people go to discover more of your content and also understand your brand. Who are you and what kind of videos do you make?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about how you decided to create your banner, for example. Do you think that accurately describes who you are?
No, honestly not. I think my banner is super outdated and I should definitely work on this. I think it is a nice image and there is some dynamics to it, but it's not communicating who I am at all. I think it's the wrong strategy, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's a fine line between artsy but also telling and conveying what your actual message is. Some best practices for having a channel banner are making sure you have an upload schedule, including a photo of yourself, or maybe even having some sort of guiding text that talks about the type of content you cover, or maybe even the items that you're building.
Exactly. I think the banner...
Вот это да, вот отдельный совет, типа свою фотку, когда видосики будут выходить, и, ну и типа краткое описание. Прикольно, да.
should probably have my face and should be a lot cleaner, and then maybe new videos every Sunday instead of new videos every week. I will change that when I get home.
All right. I think one thing too to keep in mind is that anytime you're making channel art, to make sure you look at it on a mobile phone, and if that image is legible and clear on a smaller device, likely it obviously will be on a desktop too.
Okay, cool.
Ну да, шарит баба, шарит. Прям шарит, ничего не скажешь. По сути, все правильно говорит.
Now, when we think about viewers finding your content and
Вот,
deciding
да, вот
whether
это вот, да, вот как находит контент и от чего это
or not they want to
зависит.
watch,
Да.
thumbnails are the most important strategy you can employ. That's one of my favorite things about your channel. You have your logo on every single one of your thumbnails, which ideally makes it easy for someone to identify that it belongs to your channel.
But when I started my channel, I wanted to make a name for myself, and I wanted people to recognize my videos from other videos.
You work so hard on making these really beautifully edited videos that you want to make sure...
Хопа, а вот на этом видосике-то нету логотипа, и вот тут нет логотипа. Хоп. Ясно. Банно.
people don't gloss over it simply because you skimmed out on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
They're definitely really important.
Yeah, it's kind of the business card of my video, right?
Ну да, сейчас бы чувака какого-нибудь найти, который бы... Чего, 9 месяцев назад, хераси.
Yeah, absolutely.
Вот сейчас найти бы чувака, который бы вот сделал бы мне логотип, я прям вот, прям красавчик, я бы прям респектанул бы. Вот.
One of my favorite parts about your channel is that you have plenty of playlists. You cover all the different types of content you offer. Vlogs, building things, different events that you attend. One thing that you can do is actually create a section for each one of the playlists that you have. Like we see here for uploads, and also here for popular uploads. What you can do is create a section for every single playlist you have to better showcase the diversity.
Ну и чего у меня также стоит, типа загрузки популярные, потом типа где мне что понравилось.
Content that you make, and also make it easily accessible for somebody to click and watch more.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Tell me a little bit more about how you approach titling and adding descriptions to your video.
For me, the challenge is always to find a title that's not only appealing to a broad audience, but also appealing to people who build themselves. And there's a difference. So that's always the trick for me, to find a balance between these two worlds.
Название, да, очень важно. Сам это замечал очень много раз.
I think one thing I might start thinking about as well, when you're creating a title for a video, what's something that you would type in order to find a particular video?
Ну вот, когда посылку с Даркнета, типа шок, посылка с Даркнета, новогодняя, все дела, за 25 000 рублей.
On makers or builders.
Yeah.
Another good exercise to practice is if there are certain words or certain phrases that don't quite make it in the title, you can put that in the first 2 or 3 sentences of the description.
Okay.
That's another great way to make sure you're capitalizing on those searchable terms. So a really great way to help navigate the viewer's journey is by employing a feature called end screens. It's usually something that's reserved towards the end of the video. You can create a clickable asset that says subscribe. You can create one that says watch another video, or you can even link to playlists. How do you like to use end screens?
I try to link to playlists if that's applicable, and I also try to offer a subscription. So these are the two things I always do. I think playlist is always better because there's a bigger chance that people, get hooked on my content and watch the next video and the next video, and that's what I want. Also, if I'm doing a video on a series, of course I'm going to link to the other videos of this series.
So, given that a lot of your older videos still get a lot of views,
Ну чё, донатеры, где донат-то? Я же тебе сказал, что можно. Я жду донат. Хотя бы рубль. Ну или сколько там? Гривну, хотя бы гривну.
Great tip you can use is putting end screens on those videos as well.
Yeah.
That ensures anytime somebody lands on any one of your videos, they can go and find another one really easily.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's something, for some reason, I never consider changing old videos.
Absolutely.
But I will do that.
Аналитика.
Another thing to keep in mind is there are really cool features in analytics that a lot of people don't know about. One of the #1 things that I look at is obviously your overview report. This is usually the first thing that you're brought to. I personally like to look at the last 90 days because I think this is a good amount of time and a good amount of data to look at.
Yeah.
Watch time is one of the single most important metrics to YouTube because it indicates whether or not somebody's even engaged with your content. So what do you think these spikes mean?
That's hopefully when I uploaded the video.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. That would be ideal, right? That every time you post, somebody watches the video.
Yeah.
And so one easy way that you can check this is actually by comparing it with your videos published.
I've never seen that.
But generally, if we see that there are spikes aligned here, then we know that people are generally leaned in. One thing that you can do is actually...
Это в новой творческой студии от YouTube раньше такого говна не было, типа то, что вот это вот аналитику можно было такую прям посмотреть, типа когда у тебя ролик вышел, у тебя херак сразу, типа вот, когда у тебя ролики выходили, ну, короче, такого раньше не было, это вот новая аналитика.
So if we were to click on that, we're now able to identify the specific videos that cause these particular spikes. So we know that this spike came all from the super fast drill power boat motor, which is one of your most recent videos and is performing extremely well. This also kind of begs the question, how can we look specifically at that video's analytics? And that would lead me to audience retention. How long are people actually watching?
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
We can actually click on that video and see the retention report for that video. I would say there are 3 major things. One is when the line dips. This would indicate that whatever's happening at a given moment isn't compelling for the viewer. So they're actually leaving the video. I would say the second thing too is that a majority of the video is a relatively flat line. This would indicate that people are compelled by the content they're seeing and they're staying to watch. In the very end, we see a bump right here. That would indicate to me that the content is so compelling, people are actually deciding to watch it over and over again.
My problem with analytics is it's not really good for me to focus on numbers so much. Then I start to question my decisions and I get super insecure. But I still notice that there's a lot of information in there that might be helpful for my content.
You are definitely not alone in this. There are a lot of folks.
Да, я тоже, типа, раньше не задумывался, типа, а чё, сколько смотрят, все дела. Ну да, сейчас можно, типа, будет прям провести всякую аналитику, понять, чё, как это все это дело ведется. Вот. Прикольно будет.
Out there who are just completely overwhelmed by the amount of information that we have here. That's actually why we created YouTube Studio. It's a really user-friendly, easy way
Реклама, блядь, новая творческая студия от YouTube.
To get tidbits of information without going down
Ну, удобная, типа, вот эта штука новая.
this rabbit hole.
Oh, okay, so it tells me right away if the video is performing well or not so well. That's great. This is exactly what I need. I just need a little bit of reassurance and the numbers that tell me it's all fine, you're doing well, you can go create now. That's perfect.
Well, I hope this was helpful. Were there any main takeaways?
Yeah, absolutely. There are tons of things. So the first thing is I'm going to change the channel banner, make it a bit more cleaner, maybe make it say every Sunday and not every week to build a little bit more routine. Also going back to older videos, checking the end screens. I think that's also a very good tip. Then I will update the sections and every Sunday and not every week to build a little bit more routine. Also going back to older videos, checking the end screens. I think that's also a very good tip. Then I will update the sections and implement my playlists. And also, you helped me with my fear of the analytics. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Now that Laura was able to figure out some concrete action items for her channel, we want to hear from all of you. Let us know in the comments what you learned and want to implement on your own channel. And if you're interested in how channels get partner managers, check out this resource. Be sure to subscribe and check out more awesome videos on the YouTube Creators channel. Bye!
Бай-бай-бай. Ну, блядь, прикольно. Надо тоже, блядь, подумать, понять, что и как. Что ни хера непонятно. Чё, зачем и почему и как. О, смайлик. Смайлик. Хочу смайлик. Кроль. Кроль. Ля какой. Так, у меня заставка канала такая. Заставка трансляции. это вот интересно. Вот это вот интересно. Вот это вот даже.
Masterclass. This is episode number 3, and today, well, no one would ever argue that adding references to your description or scheduling out a video is creative work. So do not make it creative work. And in this video, I'm showing you how to minimize that sort of management so you can focus on the good creative stuff like making more videos. Just going to go through and hit a bunch of these so you have actionable items that you can take away, and we'll start off with number 1, and that is setting your upload defaults. Inside Creator Studio, you can set defaults for every upload so you never start from scratch. For example, if you're using the same tags each time or a few lines of your description are the same, definitely set those things so that they're the same each time. For the description, that's actually a particularly good one. All of mine, they change every time because...
Не лагай. Все, молодец. Так, ну-ка заново. Субтитры-то.
For example, if you're using the same tags each time or a few lines of your description are the same, definitely set those things so that they're the same.
Ну это типа ссылки в ВК, вот эти вот все ссылки на Инстаграм. Ну да, в принципе, прикольно, можно добавить как нехер.
Same each time. For the description, that's actually a particularly good one. All of mine, they change every time because a different video will have a different introduction and different references and different links to images that we might have used to give people credit and all of that stuff. But what I will do is I'll put little square brackets in there and be like, references go here, kind of notes to future Simon, so he can just go in and do it much easier. The second one I want to talk about is thumbnails and the importance of batching these. Batching video production is actually something I talked about in a previous video, so go back and watch that.
Так, вот это тоже интересно. Открой, блин. Курва. Вот, все, молодец. Все.
Hello, I'm Simon, and back with another masterclass video in... Basically, the idea here is that you don't want to be opening your editing software every time you go to make a thumbnail. It's a waste of time, depending on how quick your computer is. It can even take a while to load. Also, what you should absolutely do is make a template. Not only does this make making the thumbnails easier every time, but it also gives you a kind of house style that people can come to recognize. Basically, when your fans are browsing around YouTube or they're on their homepage or they're on their mobile app, you want them to be able to recognize your thumbnail so they can think, ah, that's a video by you. They want to click on it, they can watch it, and that is a good thing. So I've got a few different backgrounds that I use in my videos, as well as a specific style, which is basically my cutout face with a white stroke around it, and then some image to do with the video, usually off to my left. Number 3 that I want to talk about is analytics, and kind of it's more of a don't rather than a do here.
Диман, короче, давай последуем его совета, делать будем превьюхи, короче, такие, типа вот. Типа там, даже не мое лицо, просто какое-нибудь тело. Ну не тело, типа этот человек какой-нибудь слева. А справа мы будем типа писать название или что-то такое, типа кликбейтное. Вот, фон тоже. И название у нас будет типа всегда меняться, но оно будет всегда обладиться белым фоном. Типа херачиться. Типа вот сама надпись, например, сама надпись красным, и у него еще обводочка такая белая. А мы будем, типа, всегда, типа, красным, типа, вот, если там будет какой-нибудь чел стоять, например, типа, я там буду стоять на превьюшке или еще чего, вот. Ну, вот, помнишь, как мы делали, ты делал на реакцию, вот, так же, да, вот такую вот херню делать надо. И верни старый значок этого, на видосике с Даркнета, верни старую превьюху, пожалуйста, она была топовой. А сейчас новенькая такая, мне не очень нравится. И Страту тоже не зашло, и Вовану. Поменяй, та прям вообще сок. а это так себе.
Don't spend your life watching your analytics. I know it's super tempting when your channel's on an upswing and you're like, hey, look at this, and you're watching the real-time analytics and it's like ticking up and ticking down. It's all very exciting, and I've certainly been in that position when I'm checking it every 5 minutes, but don't do that. It is a big waste of time. And also the worst thing is, it's great when they're going up, but when that inevitable down comes, it's kind of depressing. Watching your analytics. I know it's super tempting when your channel's on an upswing and you're like, hey, look at this, and you're watching the real-time analytics and it's like ticking up and ticking down. It's all very exciting, and I've certainly been in that position when I'm checking it every 5 minutes, but don't do that. It is a big waste of time. And also the worst thing is, it's great when they're going up, but when that inevitable down comes, it's kind of depressing. So don't do that. Don't waste your time in there. The positive recommendation here, what you should really be doing, is checking your analytics with reason and with purpose. So when you go to look in your analytics to see what's happening with your channel, ask questions like, what did people like this month? What did people not like? Are longer videos or shorter videos doing better? What subjects did people really resonate with, and how can I make more videos like that in the future? I know it's hard, but breaking that constant watching of the analytics it's a good habit to break, and it gives you more free time to be making great videos. Alright, so now let's talk about adverts, and basically, really simple here, just set the defaults. If you want adverts at the beginning and at the end, make sure that you, as a default, put those as on. Right now, if you're doing videos over 10 minutes and you want to add a mid-roll ad, you still need to do that manually, which makes sense because, like, place that mid-roll ad at a sensible place in the video. Try not to do it in the middle of a sentence. That's not a good idea. Also, side pro tip here. At the beginning of your channel, you're not going to be making that much money from advertising anyway, so personally, I'd sacrifice that cup of coffee money and turn the adverts to a minimum, because that will keep your viewer retention good, something I talked about in episode 1 of this masterclass, so go back and check that out. It's all about that viewer retention. So yeah, keep the adverts to a minimum at the beginning. It's just personal advice from me. So the next one up is end card default. So basically at the end of every video you have something called an end card. This is where YouTube lets you put in that, hey, subscribe to my channel or watch this video thing. Make sure you know what you're doing every time. So when you're recording the video, make sure you know what that end slate is gonna look like, and then set a template so that you get to the end and you're like, all right, my subscribe button goes here and my recommended video goes here and another video goes there. What we do every time at Today I Found Out is we have that subscribe button, obviously, then we also have the YouTube automatic video recommendation, which does save a ton of time, and then also a video recommendation that is a specific one based on the video someone watched, so usually like a really related topic that I think other people will dig. Another one to mention is tags. These aren't really so super important, so don't spend a ton of time.
Я думал наоборот, от тегов много зависит, а тут говорят, не тратьте много времени на теги.
I'm on them. Set your default tags. So for everyone, we have like Today I Found Out, Simon Whistler, Fun Facts, that sort of stuff. And then also use third-party suggestion software for doing those tags. It's just a more efficient way to do it. Now let's talk about replying to comments. This is something that, as your channel becomes bigger, can just basically become this endless pile of things that you need to look at. If your channel is new though, you're not going to get so many, and I would really suggest that you try and read and reply to as many as you can. It doesn't just mean you have great engagement with your fans, which is always a good thing, but you can learn from them. You can get feedback on your early videos, what people like, what they don't like. It's a whole lot more interactive than...
Вот видите, да, он говорит вот эту вот самую фигню, я так и делаю, я общаюсь с вами, вот там какой-нибудь придурок напишет какое-нибудь говно, типа вот ты дебил, почему вы Диму Масленникова обсираете, вот в таком духе, я лайкну его комментарий, я отпишусь ему, то что типа это мое личное мнение, ты можешь соглашаться с ним, можешь не соглашаться с ним, это твое право, но зачем ты заходишь и пишешь это? Либо когда люди пишут то, что им понравилось, либо какой-то момент, то, что типа вот что-то вот описывают. Я тоже с ними общаюсь, я пытаюсь общаться. Ну, есть хейтеры, но все равно адекватных людей-то больше, и они пишут это все. Ну, как бы я стараюсь отвечать на эти комментарии. Даже если хейтер, например, мне пишет, я все равно лайкаю его коммент и стараюсь ответить там на несусветную дичь, я пытаюсь ответить. Если нормальный комментарий, я с чистым сердцем, прям вот от всей души пишу ему ответ. Либо помогаю ему, либо там чувак спрашивает, какая песня. Я спрашиваю тайм-код, нахожу эту песню, если я ее не знаю, и отправляю ему эту песню. Просто вот, ребятки, вот ради вас, вот прям вот. Блять. Все.
Just the thumbs up and the thumbs down buttons. So great way to get feedback from your audience. But when things do get crazy, my advice is, and I've fallen into the hole of answering comments just endlessly. These days, the advice I generally have is just pour a cup of coffee in the morning, sit down and answer a few. Just accept and don't stress that you're not going to get to all of them. No one really minds. Alright, so listen, so far in this masterclass I've talked a lot about shaving time off production and your management process so that you can spend more time doing creative things. In the next and...
Прям вот топовые советы. Прям по кайфу, да. Так, а теперь дополнительные источники дохода. Это вот интересно, мне вот надо, да. А то и так денег нема. А контент-то делать надо.
Who isn't looking for more ways to make money with their YouTube channel?
Я вообще просто хочу хоть 10 копеек, блядь, зарабатывать.
Hey, I'm Josh, a program manager at YouTube. We know that sometimes you need more than just ad revenue to support your ambitions.
Да мне хотя бы эту рекламу ютуберскую, вот эту вот самую вот всратую, за которой там за 1000 просмотров там сколько там рублей, 60 что ли дают, ну доллар или сколько. Хотя бы ее вот эту вот всратую, чтобы хотя бы вот просто вот, знаешь, вот на психологическом уровне вот это вот было, то, что, типа, за мои вот старания я что-то получаю. Да, я получаю, типа, вот, лайки, ваши комментарии, вот, обратную связь я получаю, но все равно на эту обратную связь я не смогу сделать ролики. Мне, блядь, все равно нужен какой-то доход.
So today, I'm going to share with you some monetization options beyond ads that you can explore.
Да, расскажи, пожалуйста, о других способах монетизации.
And then answer a few common questions.
Потому что эти уроды загнули такую планку, которые вот типа вот, ну вот обычные чуваки, вот просто вот, которые не накручивают, там вот типа ботов не заставляют, ничего такого не делают, просто им вот, чтобы набрать эти цифры, потребуется, ну вот как раз год, чтобы там 1000 подписчиков набрать и 4000 часов. 4000 часов, Карл, ты просто вот усрись, ты не сможешь 4000 часов сделать за месяц, это слишком сложно. У тебя должно быть очень много просмотров на ролике, и чтобы вот удержание аудитории было вот максимальным. То есть, типа, ты снял там видосик на 30 минут, у тебя там должно быть, ну сколько, ну 1010 просмотров, и каждый вот этот вот просмотр должен быть вот по полчаса. Это очень сложно. Пиздец, блядь, вот бомбит, крик души.
Many creators supplement their income with channel-related ventures like selling merch and crowdfunding. And in the last few years, we started building new monetization features directly on YouTube like Super Chat and channel memberships to help diversify your revenue. When you take advantage of these other ways to make money, you're asking your audience to buy things like...
Он угорает вообще, пиздец. То есть суперчат и вот эта вот подписка спонсорская, она доступна тоже с этой херни, типа вот. Вот с этой вот планочки, когда ты достигнешь 4000 часов и вот 1000 подписчиков, вот только тогда она будет так, вот это вот активно. А так нет, а так просто вот
official creator merch, extra content, or shoutouts from you. So you should be conscious of what you can offer that will be of value to paying viewers, and the time and effort it will cost you to create and deliver these options. But don't let this deter you. Diversifying how you make money can bring in more revenue and also empower your channel to take on new projects. Sound good? Great. Now I'm going to walk you through some of the most common questions on these topics. Question 1. Do I have to have millions of subscribers to actually earn money or have my audience support me? No, you absolutely don't have to be famous to try other monetization options. What you need most is a dedicated audience. Niche channels without millions of subscribers still tend to do well because they have a loyal audience following them. If you're really not sure, you can always ask them in a video or add a poll card. Question 2. Asking my audience for money feels weird. How do I get past this? This is a great question as it can definitely feel awkward.
Вот я бы спросил у своих подписчиков в натуре, что вы хотите? Какой контент? Что снимать? Я не знаю. У меня уже никаких представлений нет, что интересно и что как. Вроде бы вот эта вот посылка с Даркнета была в трендах. Сняли. Неинтересно. На Диму Масленникова обзор сделали. Ну, 500 просмотров, ну нормально. Ну, сука, 49 дизлайков. Вы, если даже вот дизлайкаете, вы хотя бы напишите, что не так. Какой видос вы хотите увидеть. Подпишитесь на канал, поддержите. Ну, вы видите, пацаны стараются. Вот, блядь, хотят, вот, тужатся, вот, вот, YouTube душит. Он не позволяет, он не показывает чувакам нормальным контент, который мы делаем. Вот, блядь, не знаю я, что делать.
But remember, viewers are buying things from you, like Super Chat to highlight their message to you, or a set of members-only dedicated videos with channel memberships. It's not a one-way thing, and it's always optional. Be sure to let viewers know that even if they don't purchase anything, you still love them and appreciate their time watching your content. Question 3. What should I offer that my audience will actually pay for? This answer lies in your audience. You know them best, so if you need any clues, you may want to read through your comments and take a look at your audience demographics. Also, are there things related to your channel brand that your audience would get really excited about? Whatever you end up making, be conscious of what you can offer that will be of value to paying viewers, and the time and effort it will cost you to create and deliver these options. And make sure it's scalable, so you can continue to deliver these offerings as your channel grows. Lastly, be mindful that you're following YouTube's community guidelines too. Last question, how do I know if I'm ready to try out monetization options beyond ads? Honestly, this is a personal choice, and some people never feel ready. But if you've built a loyal audience, you're probably ready to start exploring those options. So what are you waiting for? Check out the Creator Academy to learn more. Bye for now.
Пипец.
What is the new channel membership feature, and what do you need to know about using it successfully? Well, stick around, because we're going to talk about it coming up and about all the
Какая баба боевая.
things that we've learned about doing it.
Ну, блядь, сука, в горячую избу войдет, блядь. Не только. И не только.
Hi, I'm Simon from Simon and Martina, where we run a YouTube channel called Simon and Martina, where my wife and I have been making food and travel videos in Japan and Korea and other parts of the world. We've been using the channel memberships program now for over half a year or so, and it's actually been a really great addition to our channel. So today we're going to share with you our approach to channel memberships, what we thought about it, how we chose our perks, and how we deliver this content to our audience.
So if you've never heard of channel memberships before, it's a way for creators to engage more deeply with their audience members that purchase monthly channel memberships. In turn, the creator gets more money, and we end up delivering them badges and custom emojis and other different perks that we've decided to give them.
Of course, this is a no-brainer. You do want to connect with the audience more, and you want to make more money on the side. However, this isn't a feature that you could rush in implementing. So it actually took the two of us a good month and a half of discussing it back and forth. What are the best ways to implement this? Because we were actually really worried, what if we alienate some of the people that can't afford this? I don't want really anybody to feel left out on our channel.
So there are a lot of different approaches to channel memberships. Some of you guys might want to go the route of like VIP, special access. You might want to have like exclusive behind the scene content. But for our audience and our message, that wasn't a good fit. Our channel membership isn't a way for us to be like, sell this, buy this, like it's a hot commodity. For us, we were looking for a way to connect more with our audience members. So we tried to view our channel memberships as something like our audience having a way to say, thanks for all the hard work. We want to give back to you guys.
So once we finally did agree that channel memberships was something that we wanted to
Неинтересно. Это вот спонсорство, но это когда вот у меня эта функция будет доступна, тогда можно попробовать. А сейчас о нем говорить, ну, такое, не очень хочется.
This one, how do you upload more without doing more work? Well, okay, it's actually going to be a bit more work, but nowhere near as much as you might think. In this video, I'm going to show you how.
Ну давай, поделись секретами по-братски. Я очень хочу секретики ютуберов узнать.
So I really thought we'd just jump straight into the concrete stuff in this episode because there are 4 things that I really see as core if you want to put out more videos without making a ton more effort. I do daily videos, so I know a thing or two about being efficient with a production schedule. So let's jump into it. Number 1 is batching. Now, normally when people are making videos, a lot of creators I speak to, they do the kind of single video plan. So you'd write or plan a video, then you would move to recording said video, then you'd move to the editing of the video, and then the upload and the description and all of this stuff kind of one at a time, bump, bump, bump. But what I would suggest you do as a creator is do something which I call the rule of 3s, which is do things in 3s. So write 3 scripts, then record all 3, then edit all 3 and upload all 3 and do the data on all 3, etc. That allows you to stay in the mindset of each process. So if you're planning, it allows you to just plan 3 in a row and you stay in that mindset. And then when you're recording, you can record 3 in a row and you don't have to set up all your gear again, get everything right and perfect. And then when you're uploading it and doing your description and stuff, you don't have to remember like, how am I supposed to format this description again? It's just...
Так, блядь. Димон. Надеюсь, ты на стриме? Димон, а? Если ты на стриме, быстро пошел и начал обрабатывать 2-ю часть с Димой Масленниковым. Когда мы сидели, реакцию. Потому что надо. Надо больше роликов.
3 at once. And the rule of 3 is just basically where I start.
Вот, чтобы потом мы когда...
I would then ramp that up to doing the rule.
Тихо. Чтобы когда ты был свободен, я был свободен, мы тоже вот так вот, типа, я вот сейчас вот сегодня-завтра буду продумывать 3 сценария каких-нибудь. Вот, скорее всего, тоже таких вот незамысловатых. Вот, а снимем видосы 3. И 3 замонтажишь. А тем временем, когда ты будешь монтажить, я буду опять же писать сценарий, и также будем типа составлять всякую херню. Короче, попробуем вот эту вот херню. Вот это вот правилом 3. Может, в натуре получше станет.
4 or 5 or even 6, you can expand it from there. Now this might not seem like it's going to save you a lot of time, but I really promise that once you get started on this, it will be a huge time saver. Just try it and you will see. So now let's move on to number 2, which is organization. And this really follows batching because once you're doing that 3 at once thing and batching your production, what you need to do is keep track of everything or things are going to get lost and confused. Now, some people like specific software and there are different pieces of software that will do this stuff, but personally, I say forget it all and just open up Google Sheets. It's just a big spreadsheet and it's free and it's super easy to use. In my big production sheets, I have like the title of the video and then what status of production it's in, as well as some other thoughts I might have towards descriptions or notes, or if there's an advertiser on it, then I write that all in the sheet and it all keeps everything neatly together. That way at a glance, I can just open up the sheet and I can say, okay, so we've got these 3 written and those 3 are recorded and I need to record this real soon because that advertiser wants it by that date. All of this confusing stuff gets out of your head and into the sheet. It's a really easier way to do it. The big ones that I use in my status column are written, recorded, edited, produced, and uploaded. That's a good place to start. I would just start with those 4 and go from there. Let's move on to number 3, which is the idea of scheduling things in advance. And as you can see, this does relate to the previous 2, being on top of your production. The problem is when you are working on a video day by day, like if you're making that video that has to go out that day, it's kind of stressful. And if you're making that, the problem is when you are working on a kind of stressful ahead as you that shouldn't be happening. That's a bad way of doing things. Try and get a week ahead. So if you're doing a video a week, make sure you've got this week's video already done last week and you're working on next week's. And maybe from there, try to get 2 weeks ahead or 3 weeks ahead and just stay ahead of the curve. That way, if you get a cold or if something comes up, then you're okay and you don't have to have a video that sounds all nasally. And number 4 is basically always thinking about repetition. Something I've done since the really early days of YouTube is when I do something, so say I am setting up my camera, or I'm doing a color correction in my editing software, or I'm writing a description, I'm always thinking like, I'm doing this many times. I'm doing this again and again and again. So what ways can I make this easier? One of those, using color correction as an example, is get a preset going in your editing software so you can just...
Да, и, Диман, создай, блядь, пресет, нахуй, цветокоррекции, чтобы корректить мою лицо некрасивое, чтобы я был красивым. Хорошо? Хорошо. Все, давай.
Drop in that color correction every time. Set up your studio lights, which I'm looking at right now. These guys, these 2 lights, they never change position. They are always in exactly the same place at exactly the same brightness. The window up above me now is blocked off completely and it never changes. So when I put this footage into the computer, color correction is automatic. Don't need to think about it. It's super easy. Also, with the camera, it's the same thing. It's always got the same ISO.
Ну, это уже технические части, типа вот это вот, типа вот это все вот говно, то, что типа вот есть у вас цвет, свет стоит правильно, камера настроена всегда одинаково, туда ясен хер, типа цветокоррекцию кинул одну и ту же каждый раз и все. А когда ты меняешь дислокацию, меняется освещение, меняется как вот режим съемки, то есть типа там есть, например, сидячий, то есть типа ты когда не двигаешься, есть движение, то есть свет меняется, все это меняется. Вот ты вот не сможешь типа вот одним пресетом, который ты настроил, вот это все делать. Но это уже технические части, да.
It's always got all of the settings. Whatever the settings are on your camera, just keep them the same.
Это удобно, когда у тебя есть студия, ты все настроил, и с этим больше не паришься.
So again, just to recap that one, whenever you're doing something that feels a bit repetitive, make a note of it, write it down, and you'll see yourself doing it again and again, and then just make sure that that thing, whatever it is set, so you don't have to set it up every single time. So those were 4 tips that I personally found very useful. As I said at the beginning of this episode, I make videos every day, and without those 4 things, that would literally be impossible. So I really recommend having a go at any of those. If you
Мне сейчас такая идея сценария пришла. Надо сейчас быстренько, короче, куда-нибудь записать, чтобы не забыть. Диман будет бомбезный прям. Вот крик будет одновременно и крик души, и вроде бы как бы популярное, и вроде бы как-то с кое-каким определенным человеком связанное. То же самое, типа как с Димой Масленниковым, тоже вот это вот связано. Вот, и будет угарно. Вот, мне кажется, будет прикольно. Я хочу это сделать. Я даже буду корчить рожу, там, жопу, как говорится, подставлять, чтобы это снять. Я думаю, будет охеренно.
If you got any questions for me about this specifically, let me know in the comments and I will do my best to address them. And I mean, optimizing your production is great, it's all well and good, but YouTube, it's much more than making videos. And in the next video in this series, I'm going to talk about how to spend the least amount of time possible doing things.
Ну, это мы смотрели, типа, как упростить работу над метаданными. Так, ну, вроде бы все понятненько. Все более-менее я понял. То, что, блядь, пытался YouTube донести до меня, я понял. Так. Чувак не задонатил, вот этот вот хохол, который хотел задонатить. Жаль. Жаль, я очень хотел, чтобы он задонатил. Было бы очень прикольно, если бы мне задонатил чувак с Украины. Я бы посмотрел, типа, как не на реакцию, а на этот. Что я хотел сказать, а ладно, похуй. Прикольный трек, спасибо за трек. Вот так вот сделаю, чтобы он не приглушал меня. Вот так вот, да, вот так. Один зритель, кто бы ты ни был, спасибо тебе за то, что смотришь меня, за все твои лайки, дизлайки, если ты ставишь, за твои комменты, за всю херню, которую ты делаешь. Вот Юрию Коваленко спасибо за то, что он единственный мой фанат. И за вопрос, а как задонатить с Украины, спасибо ему. За все спасибо, пацаны. Вот. Спасибо вам, ребята, за все. Всем спасибо, всем пока.
This is a test donation for